The Plantation Labour Act, 1951, is an Indian law enacted to regulate the working conditions of laborers in plantations producing tea, coffee, rubber, and similar crops. It applies to plantations that are 5 hectares or more in size and employ 15 or more workers. The Act aims to ensure the welfare, safety, and health of plantation workers through detailed provisions and responsibilities placed on employers. The Act mandates that employers provide proper housing, medical facilities, drinking water, sanitation, and creches for children. Workers must be given fair wages, regulated working hours, weekly rest, and leave with wages. Provisions are also made for maternity benefits for women and the employment of young persons, including restrictions and safeguards for children and adolescents. Employers are required to maintain certain records, registers, and notices, and must adhere to prescribed standards for welfare amenities. The state governments are empowered to appoint inspectors and other officers to enforce the Act. Medical officers, welfare officers, and labor officers can be appointed as needed. The Act also includes rules for accidents, sickness, and employment injuries, ensuring compensation where applicable. It prohibits the employment of workers without a valid medical fitness certificate and stresses the need for periodic health checks. Violations of the Act can lead to penalties, including fines and imprisonment. The law reflects India's commitment to improving labor welfare in the plantation sector, protecting vulnerable workers, and ensuring humane working conditions. It has been amended over time to reflect changing labor standards and socio-economic developments. By enforcing uniform standards, the Act helps improve the quality of life and dignity of plantation workers across India.